We're celebrating the biodiversity that's out there. We're supporting multiple growers so that their art and their craft does not die out. And all in all, it's a win-win for everybody. First and foremost, we source for flavour. There's been a considerable degradation in the value that people place against food, and we believe that by sourcing through flavour, we have a trickle-down effect on how food is grown, and we can fulfil our overarching mission that is essentially to revolutionise the food system. Flavour, when it's at its peak, is a sign of a vegetable or a fruit or a product that has essentially been grown in a responsible fashion. It's been grown seasonally in the correct climate, under the correct conditions, and by masters of their arts, farmers and growers who care about stewarding the soil and growing in the correct practices, growing for flavour, not yield and not profit. Originally, DNA, fruit and vegetables, but we quickly realized that our mission doesn't just extend to fresh fruit and vegetables and things like grains or manufactured products or sauces or juices or dips or soups. Also, all food feed into this food system, and it's important to kind of bring those into the conversation as well. So we work with over 400 growers and farmers and growing in a collaborative fashion to kind of bring these products in. Since the 1950s and when supermarkets really became a thing, there's been a huge growth in industrial mass agriculture, where the focus is on consistency of size, monocultures grown all year round, no crop rotation, little or no care taken for the soil. And what we've ended up with is, perhaps a cheaper, less flavorful product, but also a product that's less nutritionally dense. So in removing the care and the love that's gone into growing it and taking too much out of the soil without putting anything back in, we've lost a lot of that nutritional density. We look at developing products that both fulfill that need and fill that gap, if you like, but also stay true to our brand values of seasonality, flavour and traceability. And the range is designed in a way that we try and toe the line between familiarity with an average consumer, but also discovery and kind of pushing the envelope a little bit in terms of trying something new. So as an example, if you look at top-selling dips in the UK, everyone's favourite hummus is at the top, but not far behind that is tzatziki. So we've kind of given our twist and brought in an enigmatic kind of British twist to it by using kind of peppery watercress in there to bring something that is familiar by name, but perhaps gives a beautiful product that grows very well in the UK, opens a lot of consumers' eyes to that. We recognise quite early on that we have to work within the food system in order to change it to a certain degree, and big retailers and the food system in general likes to have a consistent product on the shelf throughout the year. It plays into consumer habits, consumer behaviours. Another fantastic example would be our tomato soup. It's a staple, best-selling soup in the UK, not ours, but as a category, yet, should I say. So in the summer months, we buy fantastic Natoora tomatoes from a grower called Tuccio, who we've worked with for a number of years. We even have a meeting room in our office named after him. And those are fantastic. They taste great. We roast them up and we make a soup with Umbrian Coco Bianco beans with that. When the weather gets colder, there are actually varieties and cultivars of tomatoes that thrive as the weather cools. And we launch I guess you could call it, we now sell a range of tomatoes in the winter under the umbrella winter tomatoes. So we shift our supply chain, we flex our supply chain, and we use a black Iberico tomato from Almeria in Spain. So the consumer is still getting a tomato soup throughout the year, but we're celebrating the biodiversity that's out there. We're supporting multiple growers so that their art and their craft does not die out. And all in all, it's a win-win for everybody. The term winter tomato, for instance, is now being used by Nigel Slater. It's being used by the River Cafe. It's widely used now within food literature and journalism. And this is not something that existed before we started bringing over these amazing winter tomatoes. On the consistency of supply side, I think it comes back to the relationships that we've built and also our forecasting and giving the growers and farmers the confidence that if they grow this crop for us and out on a limb, we're going to take it. And if they have flooding or if they have abnormally high temperatures and they only get half the crop that they thought they were going to get, we will pay them a higher price for it so that they can still survive and their art and their trade and their family and their business can thrive and continue to thrive. It's in part the way that we design products is what we've learnt from working with these retailers. So if we were making products for purely our stores, it may be that we weren't pushed to innovate in the way that we have and find solutions to work within this system. Our price point is on the premium end. And yes, the location that we're filming in is one of the more wealthy areas of London. I do believe that scaling and showing that what we do is possible in the hope that other businesses adopt it is the only way that prices are going to come down.